It was just an ordinary morning by the docks. Seagulls cried overhead, boats bobbed gently in the water, and a teenage girl quietly arranged fish on her father's old wooden stall. But nobody noticed the tall figure sitting in the distance. A man whose steady eyes missed nothing. Especially not the group of bikers who were about to make the worst mistake of their lives. Nestled along the rugged coastline of a small Oregon fishing town called Sandport, the morning always began the same way. Mist rolled in like soft silver, curtains, wrapping the wooden piers, the boats, and the salt-scarred faces of fishermen who lived by tides and winds. At the far end of the dock, there was a little fish stall. No fancy sign, just a hand-painted board that read, Fisherman's Fresh Catch. Behind it stood Emily, just 17, her hair tied in a messy braid. Sleeves rolled up, hands expertly sorting fresh halibut and salmon. Emily had grown up here. Her father, Jack Harper, was as much a part of this town as the tide itself. To most folks, Jack was just a quiet fisherman, a widower, a man of few words and fewer friends. But what most didn't know, what Jack never talked about, was that before the sea became his life, he had worn a different uniform. Jack Harper was once a Navy SEAL, decorated, respected, feared by enemies. And now, forgotten by most. He liked it that way. Until today, it started small, like these things always do. A low growl of motorcycle engines echoing down the narrow road that led to the pier. 3 bikes, shiny chrome, leather saddlebags, engines rumbling like distant thunder. The bikers weren't locals. You could tell right away. Leather vests with patches no one recognized. Faces marked with the kind of arrogance that only comes when you believe you own the space you occupy. They pulled up near the stall, engines cut, boots hit the gravel. Emily barely glanced up. Tourists were common this time of year, usually loud, sometimes rude, mostly harmless. Morning, she said, polite but firm, wiping her hands on a rag. The tallest one stepped forward. Broad shoulders, thick beard, mirrored sunglasses that reflected the ocean. He glanced at the display of fish, then at Emily, not looking at her as a customer, but as prey. Well, what do we have here? He sneered. A little mermaid selling fish. The others chuckled. Emily's fingers tightened around the edge of the table. Prices are marked, she said calmly, avoiding eye contact. But they weren't here for fish. You work this stand all by yourself, sweetheart? Another one asked, leaning a little too close. I managed just fine. The third one, younger, lanky, with nervous energy, kicked at a crate of crab traps. Bet it gets real lonely out here. Emily straightened. Her heart thudded. Not fear, not yet. But something close. I'd appreciate it if you didn't touch anything, she said, sharper this time. That was when the tall one reached out, not for the fish, but for the corner of her braid, lifting it, like some trophy. Feisty. He grinned. Bet you got a sailor boyfriend somewhere, huh? Emily yanked her hair free. Back off. One of the bikers knocked over a display bucket, sending silver-scaled fish tumbling onto the gravel. Laughter boots, grinding them into the dirt. Oops. Behind them, a few older fishermen watched from a distance, uneasy but hesitant. Small town, small people. No one wanted trouble with outsiders. Emily's hands clenched into fists. Her voice wavered but held steady. Pick that up now. She's got a mouth. The leader chuckled. Maybe someone should teach her some manners. A shadow shifted. Unnoticed. About 50 feet away. Under the shade of a weathered boat canopy, Jack sat. He had been watching from the moment the engines echoed across the water. His hands rested calmly on his knees. Shoulders relaxed. But his eyes were calculating. Cold. Focused. His training never left him. Awareness, distance, threat assessment. Jack stood at the stall. The leader stepped closer, too close, as though daring Emily to flinch. His hand hovered over her shoulder. You touch me, Emily said, voice steel now, and you'll regret it. The biker laughed, a deep, ugly sound, and reached his fingers, never made it. A hand, fast, silent, caught his wrist. Mid-air, twisted, hard. Crack. The sound was small, subtle, but the biker's knees buckled as pain shot through his arm. What the? He gasped. Jack stood there, close now, calm. His grip didn't shake. I believe Jack said softly, my daughter told you to back off. The second biker lunged. Jack pivoted, not wildly, not frantically, but with the precision of a man who had spent years training for moments exactly like this. His elbow drove into the attacker's ribs. A sharp exhale. The biker folded. The third one, the youngest, fumbled, trying to pull something from his jacket. Jack's eyes flicked. Gun, knife. No, a chain. Amateur move. Jack stepped in. One foot hooked the biker's ankle, yanked. The kid hit the gravel with a grunt, breath knocked clean from his lungs. Silence, not the kind of silence that comes when noise stops, but the heavy, thick kind that fills the air when something big has shifted. The lead biker staggered, cradling his wrist. His shades were gone now, eyes wide with disbelief. What, who, who the hell are you? He stammered. Jack's voice was low, almost gentle. Just a fisherman. But Emily saw it. For the first time, really saw it. The way her father moved. The way danger seemed small around him. And in that moment, the quiet man she had always known looked different, larger, stronger, unbreakable. The lead biker scrambled backward. Man's crazy. Let's go. Let's get out of here. They stumbled, picked themselves up. Engines roared. Tires kicked gravel. Gone. Just like that. Jack stood there for a moment, watching the dust settle on the empty road. His breathing never changed. His posture never wavered. Emily stepped out from behind the stall. Her hands trembled, not from fear, but from something else. Adrenaline, shock, relief. Double quotes. Dad. Double quotes. She whispered. He turned, met her eyes, and for a long moment, said nothing, then soft. He smiled. You all right, kiddo? She nodded. Swallowed. Yeah, I think so. Jack glanced at the mess. Crushed fish. Overturned crates. Let's clean this up. Word spread quickly in Sandport. By noon, every fisherman, every store owner, every local knew the story. Some said, Jack Harper took down 3 bikers with his bare hands. Others said he barely even moved, just shifted the wind. No one really knew for sure. Emily did, for years. She'd known her father as the quiet man who fixed nets, told corny jokes, and made the world's worst scrambled eggs. But that day, she saw the man he once was, the man he still could be. And from that day forward, no one, not outsiders, not troublemakers, ever looked at the quiet fisherman on the edge of the pier the same way again. As for Jack, he simply went back to what he loved, casting nets, watching sunsets, teaching his daughter how to read the tides, because some men don't fight for medals anymore, they fight for what matters most. Home, family, peace. The ocean has a funny way of revealing truths. Some are buried deep, and others waiting just beneath the surface, like a quiet man with a past, who needed no words, only action.